What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Wednesday, May 4th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, we have a 7-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. Okay, so at the pitcher position here, the stud on the slate that I like is Nestor Cortes. He's pitching against the Toronto Blue Jays. Nestor Cortes only giving up a .602 OPS versus righties. He's facing 7 righties, and I like this pick because the Blue Jays have only hit 8 of his last 39 pitches. That's a .205 batting average, and Nestor Cortes is $10,100 DraftKings salary, he's $10,100 FanDuel salary, 200 less on DraftKings, averaging 37 fantasy points per game on the season, has an ERA of 1.31, record is 1-0, pitching an average of 83 pitches per game. So I like Nestor Cortes here versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Now another pitcher that I like, if you want to save a little bit of salary here, is Freddie Peralta. And he's pitching against a low salary batting team, the Cincinnati Reds. He's giving up a .674 OPS versus righties, facing 6 righties. And I like this pick because the Reds have only hit 6 of his last 31 pitches. That's a 194 batting average. He's $8,800 FanDuel salary, 100 more on DraftKings, averaging 24 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 43 fantasy points last game. Now, he does have an ERA of 5, and he's 0-1 on the season, pitching an average of 87 pitches per game. But I like this matchup here, and Vegas thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game. 7.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Freddie Peralta here versus the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like CJ Cron with a 22% batting advantage over a low-salary pitcher, Patrick Corbin. CJ Cron is batting 20% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a 1.150 OPS versus lefties. Patrick Corbin giving up a .885 OPS versus righties. And CJ Cron is 3 for 8, batting a .375 batting average and a .944 OPS versus Corbin. He's $4,000 FanDuel salary, 1,600 more on DraftKings, averaging 14 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .307. So I like CJ Cron here versus Patrick Corbin. Okay, if you're looking for a lower salary play here, take a look at Elias Diaz with a 21% batting advantage over Patrick Corbin. And Elias Diaz is batting 19% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .863 OPS versus lefties. Patrick Corbin giving up a .885 OPS versus righties. And Elias Diaz is 5 for 12, batting a .417 batting average and a .962 OPS versus Corbin. He's only $3,100 FanDuel salary, 1,600 more on DraftKings, averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season, He has a batting average of 266. And Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 10.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. And actually, as it turns out, this is a great game to stack the Colorado Rockies. There's a lot of Rockies that are in great spots here. And actually, I think this is a good game to bet on the Colorado Rockies as well. And actually, I'm doing some sports betting picks. I've got another channel. I'm not going to link it below. But if you do want to get all of my sports betting picks for today, you can go to betterodds.io. And I have a link to a Discord chat where we'll be discussing the top sports betting picks every single day for the MLB. So that's betterodds.io if you guys are interested in sports betting picks. But moving on here to a value play, take a look at Gary Sanchez with a 51% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Kyle Bradish. Gary Sanchez is batting 13% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .732 OPS versus righties. Kyle Bradish, he's pitching 38% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .808 OPS versus righties. Gary Sanchez is only $2,600 FanDuel salary, $1,800 more on DraftKings, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Now, he only has a batting average of .208, but he's been on fire, scored 12, 7, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's got good splits against a low salary pitcher, and he's pretty cheap. So I like Gary Sanchez here versus Kyle Bradish.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like Chris Taylor with a 34% batting advantage over Alex Wood. Chris Taylor is batting 23% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .944 OPS versus lefties. Alex Wood, he is giving up a .774 OPS versus righties. Chris Taylor is 4 for 13, batting a .308 batting average with a 1.280 OPS versus Wood. 2 of those hits are doubles and 2 of those hits are home runs. So I like that. And Chris Taylor is $3,100 FanDuel salary, $1,100 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, and he has a batting average of .304. So I like Chris Taylor here versus Alex Wood. Okay, now here's a great value play. Take a look at Gleyber Torres with a 54% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Yusei Kikuchi. Gleyber Torres is batting 25% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .826 OPS versus lefties. Yusei Kikuchi pitching 29% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .866 OPS versus righties. And I like this pick because Gleyber Torres is 6 for 14, batting a .429 batting average and a .929 OPS versus Kikuchi. Gleyber Torres is only $2,500 FanDuel salary, $1,100 more on DraftKings, averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season, has a batting average of .225. So I like Gleyber Torres here versus Yusei Kikuchi. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Isaiah Keener-Falefa with a 20% batting advantage over that low salary pitcher, UC Kikuchi. Isaiah Keener-Falefa batting a .642 OPS versus lefties. UC Kikuchi giving up a .866 OPS versus righties. But Isaiah Keener-Falefa is 3 for 8, batting a .375 batting average and a .750 OPS versus Kikuchi. He's $2,900 FanDuel salary, $1,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season, and he has a batting average of .297. So I like Isaiah Keener-Falefa here versus UC Kikuchi. Okay, who do we have at the shortstop position? I like Xander Bogaerts. The splits aren't fantastic, though. He's not batting to his strength, but he's only $3,600 FanDuel salary, and I just love this guy. He's one of my favorite DFS players. So moving on, though, I like Carlos Correa with a 23% batting advantage over Kyle Bradish. Carlos Correa batting a .718 OPS versus righties. Kyle Bradish giving up a .808 OPS versus righties. No at-bats versus Bradish yet. Carlos Correa is $3,200 FanDuel salary, $1,400 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. And Carlos Correa has a batting average of .264. So I like Carlos Correa here versus Kyle Bradish.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the outfield position. So here's one of my home run hitters for the day. I like Aaron Judge with a 42% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher, UC Kikuchi. Aaron Judge is batting 13% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a 1.058 OPS versus lefties. UC Kikuchi pitching 29% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .866 OPS versus righties. Now, Aaron Judge is 2 for 9 with a 1.253 OPS versus Kikuchi because both of those hits were for home runs. He's $4,600 FanDuel salary, $1,300 more on DraftKings. And Aaron Judge has been on fire this season, averaging 15 fantasy points per game on the season, scored 32, 9, and 41 fantasy points in the last 3 games with a batting average of .303. So I like Aaron Judge here versus UC Kikuchi. And actually, I like the New York Yankees here tonight. If you're looking at sports betting picks, again, you guys can get all of my sports betting picks for the day, every single day, at betterodds.io. And there is a link to a free Discord chat where we're going to be talking about all the picks for the day. This is just getting started. It's free for everybody. So if you're interested, you can head on over to betterodds.io and check that out. Okay, so another play that I like here, I like Byron Buxton. He's in a good spot here versus Kyle Bradish. But another Colorado Rockies player that I like to add to the stack is Connor Joe. And he has a 17% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher Patrick Corbin. Connor Joe batting 15% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .958 OPS versus lefties. Patrick Corbin giving up a .885 OPS versus righties. No at-bats versus Corbin yet. Connor Joe is $3,900 FanDuel salary, $1,800 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's got a batting average of .273. So I like Connor Joe here versus Patrick Corbin. Now I also like JD Martinez with a 31% batting advantage over Reed Detmers, and JD Martinez is batting a .951 OPS versus lefties. Reed Detmers giving up a .817 OPS versus righties. And JD Martinez is $3,800 FanDuel salary. He's $500 more on DraftKings. And he's averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. Scored 22 and 35 fantasy points in the last 2 games. And he's hitting the ball very well this season. Has a batting average of .317. So I like JD Martinez here versus Reed Detmers. Okay, guys, let's see. Do I have any more picks for you here? Yes, I do. Here's a value play. Don't want to miss this one. Take a look at Aaron Hicks with a 105% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher UC Kikuchi. Aaron Hicks batting 31% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .866 OPS versus lefties. UC Kikuchi, he is pitching his worst ball by far to switch hitters. 74% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .856 OPS versus switch hitters. And Aaron Hicks is 1 for 1 with a 5 OPS. Well, it must have been a grand slam or something, because that hit was a home run. He's only $2,600 FanDuel salary, $1,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .283. So I like Aaron Hicks here versus UC Kikuchi. And again, I like these New York Yankees here today for a sports betting pick. You can get all my picks and join us in a free Discord chat if you go to betterodds.io.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.